My name is Kim Usery, and I teach at Cabot High School, Honors Chemistry and AP Physics. My placement this year has been at the North Little Rock Loreal plant. Strive has provided me this opportunity to bridge the gap between core science classes and the manufacturing industry. Everyone working together to bring STEM to all learners and providing students with opportunities to grow in many fields. My first 2 days at L'Oreal were in the training department, where I worked with Stacy Grubel. L'Oreal has a motto, safe at work, safe at home. So it was very important to ensure my safety by completing the proper training in the program they used called Articulate. The first project I worked on at L'Oreal was to modify the current startup check sheet used by the UP2 line operators. It was important to spend time with the UP2 operators learning and understanding what things worked and needed to be modified. Any changes that were made to the check sheet needed management approval, so Stacy and I attended meetings with management to make those changes. After the check sheet was validated, it was necessary to create a training video to train the UP2 processors on the new check sheet. I created video footage on the process of validating the startup check sheet and helped update the training manual. The video was edited and completed by me, Stacy, and Andy, one of the interns working in the training department. The next part of my placement was in the quality and bulk labs. I started out working with Eric, who is an analytical chemist. I learned the safety protocols on all the equipment both in the quality and bulk lab. After safety training, I helped Eric on prepping samples for centrifuging. I also shadowed him learning all the tests that needed to be run on finished goods. The next few days I worked with Jen, the lead chemist, learning about what she does in her position, and Jen helped me get started on my next project, revising the training manual for the specific gravity training and creating a training video for Articulate. I then worked with two other chemists in the quality lab, Caden and Susanna. They assisted me with procedures necessary for learning the spec gravity testing. The next few days, I spent my time understanding the procedures for the specific gravity testing. After learning the procedures, I worked on rewriting the training manual. I also developed a data table sticker that management approved for the bulk processors to use in their lab notebook. Once the training manual was revised and approved, I was then assisted by interns in the training department to create a training video to be uploaded into Articulate. I spent 2 days with Bree in the micro lab understanding the procedures and testing done to ensure the safety of products before leaving the North Little Rock plant. Bree tests for various types of potential contaminants or bacteria in the raw materials area, bulk processing, and finished goods. This is done before approval is given to release any of the products. Bree also tests for the validity of the preservatives in the various cosmetic products produced at the plant. I was able to learn how to prepare plates, learn the process behind micro-testing before product or raw materials can be released to production or distribution. I also gained a lot of hands-on experience preparing some plates and pipetting skills. Bree also demonstrated what a positive sample looks like and brought some of the samples up on the digital microscope. I spent the day in the ACTAS Innovation Lab. Stacy Blau, a chemical engineer, is the senior processing manager. She educated me on the chemistry behind color and pigments in cosmetics. While working with Stacy, I created my own lipstick, lip gloss, and concealer. She is scheduled to work with my honors chemistry class later this semester. While working at L'Oreal, I was able to secure a field trip with some of my STEM students from Cabot High School. L'Oreal provided 6 of my students, a school board member, and our school STEM coordinator with the opportunity to tour the manufacturing plant. They were able to learn about how the production line operates, the engineering practices behind the operation of the equipment, toured the quality and bulk lab, and finished in the ACTAS lab where Stacy and her team assisted my group with designing their own signature color of lip gloss. Before talking about my Strive lesson, I wanted to thank my supervisor, Elaine Jackson, VP of Manufacturing Supply Chain. Without her, this program would not be possible. Elaine met with me along the way, helping me be successful and allowing me this incredible opportunity to be part of such an incredible team. I appreciate her mentorship this past summer and allowing me the opportunity to work with such amazing people. The final and very important part of my Strive experience is what I will bring back to the classroom and how I will influence and educate my students about the various STEM opportunities available to them in the workforce. My Strive lesson was developed with the assistance of Jen and Bree, who I worked with in the Quality and Micro Lab. The project I presented to my students was on the effectiveness of natural versus synthetic preservatives used in cosmetics. In this lesson, I presented my students with information on both natural and synthetic preservatives used to ensure the safety for all consumers. In this lab activity, students used transfer pipettes to collect a sample of mascara containing either natural or synthetic preservatives. Once students collected their sample, it was placed in an ergon broth to set for several minutes. Students then pipetted 1 ml of the sample onto a prepared agar plate, labeled and placed in the incubator for 48 hours. Once students collected their samples, I brought in a microbiology teacher to help students analyze and count bacterial colonies. Students shared their data on our BenQ board, and they analyzed the results for both synthetic and natural preservatives. Once students collected and analyzed their data, I brought in one of our English teachers to instruct students on how to write a CERR, Claim, Evidence, Reasoning, and Rebuttal, which they would use for their concluding argument in their formal lab report. In the second part of my Strive lesson, I also wanted students to see other testing procedures L'Oreal used in their facility to ensure the safety of their products. We performed 2 station labs. The first one, we simulated the specific gravity lab that I built the training video for while I was working at L'Oreal. The students analyzed and calculated the specific gravity for concealer. Students then simulated a pH test for mascara. pH is a key parameter from the formulation phase to the finished goods. pH is a crucial parameter as it can influence its compatibility with the skin and potential irritability. A pH probe was used to measure the acidity or alkalinity of the mascara sample and verify it meets the needs or range from the FDA. I want to finish by thanking the Strive mentors and advisors for this fabulous opportunity that will allow me to further educate and teach my students about the incredible opportunities STEM education can allow them in their future careers.